Hey, watch everybody. Look, I'm taking my knife. What is this? Okay,
everyone watch some stuff.
Ready?
Okay, everyone.
Ready? My knife. Doesn't make it dead.
Yeah, spreading.
I helped sell it, but in the end, what I would do is I would buy my friends with the distributors. I might, I hope I do. Get a total full off. Yeah, I mean,
This is like a fraction of my burn. All the way out. I figured, I thought I won't get hurt because we were time of day.
Thank you everybody for coming for Timmy's 50th birthday. And I thought in lieu of gifts, if anybody would like to share
I thought we weren't going to do that.
Yes, we are. A favorite Jim story or something about Jim that you find especially special or unique.
Or how Jim has disappointed you in the past.
Well, that's easy.
You're welcome to share it.
Can't narrow them down.
And I'll be the first one. I'll go ahead and start. I met Jim in 1986. And it was my cousin Eric.
Where's Eric?
Eric. There you are. Eric introduced us. And,
My fault.
and it was the second time I met him. Well, you can be Eric if you like. Eric and I were going to take Jim out. We were going to go to a picnic on the beach. And Eric said, I'll pick you up, Ange, and we'll go get Jim. So I said, that's great. So I got in the car with Eric, and we're driving down to Redondo Beach, where Jimmy lived. And as we pulled up to the house, there's this little guy, this man, dancing on this little garden wall. He was doing like a little jig. And he looked like the happiest person I've ever seen in my life. And he's always been the happiest person since. And I just want to say thank you to you, Eric, for introducing me to this great guy.
The prequel to that story is Eric and I were at Fantastic Cafe in El Segundo. And he says, hey, my cousin just moved in town. Why don't you come over and see her? She was the homecoming queen of our high school. I said, who's going to pass up to see a homecoming queen? So I go to the house. We go to this place, and it's godforsaken. It was like, literally, I think it was a pit in El Segundo. The worst apartment complex I've ever seen. So she answers the door. Her hair was in curlers, and she had those old style, like, you know, bicycle glasses type of thing.
Cool.
And in this fluffy terry cloth, purple chenille terry cloth robe. Huh?
I didn't give her any warning.
No, you didn't. Thank you. Yeah.
And I had to fix her black and white TV set because her antenna wasn't working.
Right.
Yes.
But then you fell in love.
Yes. 3 years later.
3 years later.
3 years later. So that was how we met.
That was how we met.
What about the first date? All I know is when I was there.
Well, our first date was Jim invited me to
The Pittsburgh Penguins versus the LA Kings.
Right.
My first and only hockey game.
Hockey game.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we didn't stay at the hockey game. We walked around the Forum. because it was so boring. Remember? We walked around and
Good
saw the
choice.
stars.
And she said, you know, I have this brother named Joe. I said, oh, sounds like a nice guy. I'd like to meet him sometime. Little did I know.
Did I tell you not to marry him? Did I tell you?
I bet you did.
We all did.
You don't have to convince us, I'm sure you did.
The Erickson gene pool hit the lottery when it met the Mainses. That's all I have to say.
Well, all right. Is it my turn?
Joe's turn.
All right.
Joe's favorite Jim story.
Okay.
I've got just two.
Okay.
Number one, the Erickson gene pool. Now, what is it that the Ericksons can't do? Think. No. But what is the number one thing the Ericksons can't do?
Technology.
Anything mathematical?
Oh, there it is. Okay, now Jim. 7 minus 1. Come on.
Go ahead, go.
6.
There you go. Okay, so he is a genius. He is. But he said the Ericksons, there's not a single Erickson that can do math. Now, right away, I was impressed with this guy. Makes a good impression. Then the only other really special thing I like about Jim, when you play a game or play sports with Jim, you spend a half hour having Jim tell you the rules and about 5 minutes playing the game. You know? But you have a thorough understanding of the rules. So that's true, it is.
No one ever told me that. Thank you for that constructive criticism and advice and practice and improve on that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Preach it, Bob, preach.
Jim is like, you don't know you have a problem until Jim.
That's classical.
So,
I'm going to remember that.
he's constantly, I'm like, Jim's like my best friend at work, so, we should have a special bond. Like when I call you, you should pick up the phone, right? So I call him, he doesn't answer the phone, and then finally he picks up the phone and he says, well, I'm out here helping all these other people get their stuff done. So by the time he gets through with helping everybody, it's about 7:30. And he's like, well, and then he decides to call me. I said, man, why don't you, don't call me. Go home and be with your wife and kiss your wife and hang out with your wife. And so he's like, oh yeah, I'm on my way now. I'm in the car, And so, I think the world of Jim. I think he's awesome. He is very helpful. He's usually right and he's usually right a lot. He's usually right a lot earlier, a lot earlier than you might think he might be. I just want him to balance himself a little bit more.
Thank you.
And because we got a lot of life to live, and we don't want to burn it all out on what we're doing right now. So
Cool.
happy 50th birthday.
Make a wish!
That's right.
It's almost like
Thank you for all.
tell me
My birthday.
There you go.
Oh, brilliant. Well said.
Who wants cake?
Is that your short Have it over there.